Hey everybody, Shane Presley here with Rock Paper Podcast. I have a couple of announcements I need to share with you. Some big shows coming up, including on September 8th over at Old Rock House. That's a Sunday. I'm hosting Debbstock. This is a benefit for my mother, Debbie Manahan. This is she was diagnosed with glioblastoma brain cancer back in June, and we're going to try to throw a big party for her and have some fun. I have live music from the Scandaleros, Holliday and the East Side Rhythm Band, Jackson Stokes, Joe Bizelli, Matt Wynn, and Big Mike Aguirre and the Blue City Allstars. Again, $4 to $9, $10 tickets in advance, $15 at the door. You can also purchase those at metrotix.com. And be sure to dress up in your finest Hawaiian summer kind of luau beach theme, whatever that means to you. It'd be fun to make this as beachy as we can over there at Old Rock House. Again, Sunday, September 8th. So let me tell you about my friends at Naked Vine. They donated to Debbstock, and they've been a great friend of mine. So stop by and visit them out in Chesterfield, Missouri, right up there off of 40 and Clarkson Road, and see some great live music this week. Thursday, September 5th, Hal Pascal of Cherokee Moon will be out there. And Friday, September 6th, a Scandaleros return. And Saturday, September 7th, Prairie Rehab. I'll be back at Naked Vine on Tuesday, September 10th, and that's every second Tuesday of the month, with my singer-songwriter storytelling showcase. And this month I will bring along my friends Taylor Steele of Taylor Steele and the Love Preachers, Eric Barnes and Andrew Dahl of Andrew and the Dolls. Again, all this information and more can be found at nakedvine.net. Be sure to follow along with them on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And as always, they're serving up the finest wine, whiskey, tequila, and local craft beers out there. So come out and visit them at Naked Vine. And I want to let you know that this episode is recorded on my brand new Heil microphone. If you haven't checked it out yet, visit heilsound.com today and pick up a brand new microphone or gear or whatever you can want to get over there at Heil Sound. And follow them on Facebook and Instagram as well. And I want to let you know about Joseph Meyer Club. They're a fantastic company with this great foaming aftershave I've been using, and you can pick yourself up some today at josephmeyerclub.com. And if you entered my code RPPJMC20 during checkout, you can receive an exclusive 20% off. So head on over there again, josephmeyerclub.com, get for all your aftershave needs. And that's it for me today, folks. Again, thank you everybody for listening. Thanks for continuing to support this show. If you're interested, I have some new hats and buttons and shirts available. Feel free to email me at rockpaperpodcast@gmail.com if you'd like a shirt or anything, or if you just want to say hi or what episodes you're enjoying or any whatever it is. Feel free to reach out, email. Also on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Would love to hear from you. Again, please come on out to Debbstock Sunday the 8th. We'll hope to see you there. Have a great day, everybody.
A podcast is kind of like it's like a radio show that's not on the radio. It's on the internet. Does that make sense? Uh-huh. Yeah. That's also like my mom. It makes it sound more confusing, doesn't it? It sounds like this.
This is Joe Bizelli from Melle, and you're listening to the Rock Paper Podcast.
Rock Paper Podcast. Rock Paper Podcast. Rock Paper Podcast, y'all.
Hey everybody, Shane Presley here, Rock Paper Podcast, coming to you from St. Louis, Missouri, hanging out in New Melle with Joe Bizelli and family. You guys want to? I guess we should probably go around the table and everybody introduce themselves and properly. I guess you want to start?
Yeah, my name's Joe Bizelli from Melle, and I figured what better place to have my third podcast than out in Melle at my parents' house where I grew up like the second half of my life. So I got my mom and dad here. Mom, do you want to say hi?
Hi, Joe. How are you?
Good. Dad?
Yes, I'm Joe's dad. That's how I'm related to him.
We're sitting here in our kitchen where we normally congregate and spend Sundays and hang out.
Yeah, recording this live on a Labor Day weekend, so it feels quite appropriate to be out here hanging out and a nice relaxing day and enjoying this country out here. So, but yeah, thanks for having me out. This is cool. I'm glad to be back here hanging out, talking about more Joe Bizelli music, and we got a big show we're a part of next weekend. That's kind of one of our big push we're going to talk about. But yeah, we got a lot going on, so I thought this would be fun to catch up and talk about all that, and of course get to know Mom and Dad a little bit and all that. But I guess we should start with get out of the way. Debbstock happening on September 8th on Sunday. This is a very, very close to me. Obviously, this is my mother. Debbie Manahan is we're for the benefit, obviously. So, but she's a huge fan of Joe's, and
that goes both ways.
Yeah, and she. So when I was putting together a list of talent to play this, I was like, it made perfect sense to get Joe a part of it and all the other her favorites, and so. So I'm glad. So thank you, Joe, for doing this. Man.
I was more than honored when you asked, and I just think it's really cool that you're putting it all together and all the support that you're getting from the music community that you've already done so much for. It's kind of a great opportunity for everybody to give a little bit back.
Yeah, and that's like what's been really cool, like how much people, like you're saying, are a fan of hers too, and I hear it all the time. People love that I go to shows with my mom, and I'm like, well, it only makes sense. Like she's the one that got me into all this music anyway, so it is kind of cool that the tables kind of shift. It's like where as a kid she was introducing me to all this music, and then now I get to introduce her to all my friends' music and stuff, and so. Well,
that's one thing we have in common, because that's definitely, I didn't get my love of music from my dad. That's for sure.
Definitely not.
But I think I was genetically
inclined.
Genetically modified when I was brought home from the hospital.
True.
Because from the very first day you brought me home,
There was a radio playing in your room 24/7.
so just constantly in my head, so I never had a choice
Right.
to do anything else. But and I thought till I was like 10 years old that Oldies was the only radio station on the radio, because that's all we listened to.
KLOU.
Yeah. Back when they were playing like actual oldies,
Right.
like 50s and 60s, not today. They're playing like 80s now. But we'd always play Who's That when a song would come on, try to learn all the artists. And you guys always encouraged me to do everything with music. I always had support, whatever I wanted to do. They got me my first keyboard. First guitar was 2 different electric guitars screwed together, like the neck of one guitar and the body of another, screwed together to where it worked enough to play.
Yeah.
And then there was that one church auction, where you and my boss, Bo, owner of the Warehouse of Dinettes, they got into a bidding war over an acoustic guitar. My parents trying to get it for me, and he was trying to get it for me, and they didn't know that they were bidding against each other. But yeah, that's how I got my first acoustic.
Right.
Yeah.
I just watched Wreck-It Ralph, the Breaks the Internet, the sequel, the other day while I was visiting with Mom, and there's a funny part in there where they're trying to get that steering wheel off of eBay, and they're like both like, you just got to keep yelling up the highest number, so they're like both like outbidding each other back and forth, and like anyway, so that's what popped into my mind. I was thinking of that, like, pretty funny.
Yeah. Another reason why I like your mom is 'cause sometimes when I would have a gig out at 909 Public House in Winsville, nobody shows up except Debbie coming, and she'd bring friends with her, and so that meant a lot to me.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, she would always like you and our buddy Wade, and she had a bunch of favorites that you guys played around here, and she would go watch, especially the ones in Winsville and stuff. So, so that was cool too. Like, it wasn't just, like she went to a lot of shows with me, but then she would also just go on her own and stuff. So, so that was a lot of people. Like I said, were got a kick out of that Mom would show up to their shows, and then all these guys, they're part of it. Again, Debbstock happening September 8th at Old Rock House. We'll have Joe. We'll have Matt Wynn, another favorite of hers. Like the rest of these guys, the Scandaleros, Holliday and the East Side Rhythm Band, Jackson Stokes, and Big Mike Aguirre and the Blue City Allstars.
I hadn't heard about him until I saw the lineup for it, and I went and watched just a couple of videos of his, and oh my God.
Yeah, he's real good.
Wow.
They're all real good.
I was blown away. And then Matt Wynn, like you were saying, he's catching some traction.
Yeah.
He's got songs on Country Rebel Radio that are really well written. He's making his way kind of in Nashville. So.
And he just wrote with Phil Vazar, right?
I think so, yeah.
Which was, I mean, that's pretty huge to get a co-write with him and stuff. And
yeah, he's definitely moving up.
Yeah, so come out early and party all night with us at Old Rock House. We do have $10 tickets available today. They are also on metrotix.com, I believe, for $14, and you can get them at the door for $15 day of. But yeah, it's going to be an incredible night. We got, like I said, live music 4 to 9. We'll have silent auction stuff, which I've got some really nice donations already in from Sugar Fire Smokehouse, and we got I'll have some stuff from Ted's Harley Davidson, Ink Spot, Broadway Oyster Bar, Naked Vine. I mean, like all my friends kicked in. I got some really nice Cardinal seats that are like I don't know, like real, I don't know, whatever it is, real nice seats. I forget what section it is, but so it was really cool. Like, I think I got about everything covered: whiskey, tattoos, Harleys, barbecue. Our Lion's Choice also donated a real nice basket. So yeah, a lot of really cool things out there on the table, and so come check that out.
I got a couple friends who aren't going to be able to make it to the event. They can still get a ticket to support the event, even if they can't make it.
It's still a direct donation. 100% of the tickets proceeds go right to Mom. So, if you want, even if you can't make it, give the ticket to somebody else or whatever. I mean, it's all good. But that's a good way to donate if you just want to send some money.
Yeah, I normally just let people know when my shows are, but I'm actually requesting that people come to the show.
Right.
There's a difference.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be a big night. Yeah. And also want to give a shout out to our friend Kenny Lee Hall. He kicked in a nice acoustic guitar.
Of course he did. He's the best. So we're going to raffle off a nice acoustic that night. So yeah, like maybe instead of outbidding each other, maybe we'll get some people out bidding on this one and or somebody else. Now I think that's I think it's gonna be really great. If anybody's got somebody that looking to play at home, or want to start trying to learn some guitar, it'd be a great starter. Right. Knowing him, he'll probably buy it back just for the donation.
Yeah, but he's become a great friend too, and I think the first time we really officially met was through you. Also, was when you brought him up on when you appeared at Naked Vine during my songwriter showcase. You had him come up and play Almond Milk, and I think that was the first time we really got to start. I think we might have been friends online or something, but that was the first time I think I really met him.
Has he been on Rock Paper?
Yeah, we did one a while back, and I finally got him talked him into it. And
he's kind of shy, but he's one of the nicest, most genuine people I've met in my songwriting journey so far, and one of the most talented. Yeah, he's got a new song out. Because he has a really good song called Jesus, How's Your Mom? That's my absolute favorite. Yeah. He's got a new one called Let's Clean Out the Spare Bedroom for Jesus. And it's just as good. I told him his best songs are about Jesus. Yeah. He just sings like he's a normal guy.
Right. Yeah. There's another one. One of my other favorite Jesus songs is Will Hogue has one about like Jesus came to Nashville, and that's a similar kind of thing. Is like he writes about him like he's just a normal guy, just shows up and like he's like, and he's having this conversation with him, and he's like, and it's really funny song, and so he checked that one out too.
I'm gonna.
Yep. Well, anyway, like I said, we are here at the Bizelli home in New Melle, and I thought this would be fun to get to know a little bit more about Joe growing up. I mean, besides the radio being on 24/7 at the hospital and stuff, when do we know that Joe's got something going on for music with the voice and all that stuff? When's that?
Well, I tell you what, when he got his first guitar and then formed the band, and then we had to have a auditorium for the band, so our garage was selected.
Yeah.
And then I had to buy a big air conditioner so they were comfortable in the garage. And hopefully that helped launch the career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we did get the cops called one time.
One time.
But he showed up and he was basically like, well, this is a private neighborhood. Technically, I can't make you turn it down, but would you mind maybe shutting the garage door? I'm like, yeah, no problem. Like, do you want to hear what we've been working on? He goes, yeah. So we played him a song that we were working on. And then I don't know if it was that time, but my dad was like, came in after a practice and he goes, I was like, I have a question. And he goes, why do you guys keep playing the same song over and over again?
Over and over and over.
I was like, well, we're trying to perfect it and find out what parts go best where. And it's like, well, I noticed you just play it and you'd stop and you start over. You just keep playing. I was like, yeah, that's kind of how you got to do it.
Right.
Amateur.
Do we know what song? You remember what song that was?
That was, I think, Nothing, which is a Good Question song.
Yeah.
I don't even know if Good Question music's even out there.
Yeah.
But that was a good project back in the day with Cortland Zelli. He was just back in town. I think he did one night at 909 Public House.
Yeah, I was bummed I missed it.
I was down in Nashville, but if I weren't, I would have been here. But he's really just, he can naturally tell a story with a solo, which is a really cool.
Big fan of his.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So I guess so that was a little later then, right? I guess music for the Good Question days. That was a
while ago,
high school,
right after high school. Yeah. We would go over to our buddy. Well, before we started jamming here, and then we finally got Pete's the drummer's parents' basement. We upgraded to that.
Yeah.
And practice. We played a lot of Battle of the Bands,
right?
Which was a big deal back in the day. And we won all the ones we played around here. Even did like a nationwide one. Won the round here, won the round in Kansas City, and then went up to Milwaukee and lost terribly. And that's when we figured out that they stopped selling alcohol at like 9 or 10 o'clock in Milwaukee.
Okay.
So we were pretty bummed about that. I found out we didn't win. We can't even drink. Right. So it was kind of rough, but a good experience.
Yep.
Overall.
So were you singing around the house to those oldies before that though, or?
Oh, I've still listened. I fall asleep every night to oldies music on Pandora with a sleep timer. It's just that's what takes me back to everything. And like I said, until I was 10 years old, probably I didn't listen to anything else.
Yeah, well, that's probably a good segue into putting in. We did do some live jamming here in the living room at the Bizelli home, and we did. I would still call it an old. It's not quite into the 50s and 60s, but Tina Turner. Mm-hmm. We did a cover, which is your first time you're doing a cover on this show, which I thought was a lot of fun because this is a song I can recall listening to a lot. Also with my mother and stuff. I remember having like that Tina Turner Greatest Hits CD, and of course, you did What's Love Got to Do with It, but of all the I Can't Stand the Rain and all whatever everything else, like they had a bunch of great ones on there. And
must understand that the touch of your hand makes my pulse react. It's only the thrill of boy meeting girl, opposites attract. It's physical, only logical. You must try to ignore that it means more than that. Oh, what's love got to do with it? What's love but a second-hand emotion? What's love got to do with it? And who needs a heart when a heart can be broken? May seem to you that I'm acting confused when you're close to me. If I tend to look dazed, I've read it someplace, I've got cause to be. There's a name for it. There's a phrase that fits. But whatever the reason, you do it for What's love got to do with it? What's love but a second-hand emotion? What's love got to do with it? And who needs a heart when a heart can be broken? Said who needs a heart when a heart can be broken? Said who needs a heart when a heart can be broken?
Is this, so I'm guessing maybe this was one of those that kind of started playing early, or is this one you found later on?
This is one where I started playing like more bar gigs and winery gigs and stuff. I was trying to go through and find songs that I knew people would know and kind of try to put my own little spin on it while still staying true to the actual song. And I got a bunch from like that. But been trying to focus more lately on trying, and this is common sense for probably anyone else, but I'm trying to get more gigs where people are actually going to hear music rather than just going to a bar or going to a winery and being the background music, which I've done for 8 years, 10 years now, which I still like it. I still do it. I think it's good practice. But I want to focus on, trying to book shows like at festivals or like the New Melle Festival or a big fundraiser at the Old Rock House or the Atomic Cowboy or so there's fewer of those, but they're just more enjoyable because people are actually want to hear what you're doing.
Right. Yeah. I think it's a little while ago, but you did like the Songbird Cafe, and you did in my show out there, my songwriter show, and it's like, and I think that's I wish there was a lot more of those like type of things, like where it's people are there strictly for the songs and stuff, and like strictly as a listening room experience and stuff. So
it's nice that there's someone actually doing something like that.
Yeah, we're trying,
making the difference.
Trying. Yep, Steve does a great job with his show, a Songbird, and I've been trying to build my show up to compete with his a little bit, and we're not over competition. It was very different, but the same sense, like trying to offer another location doing a similar type of setting, it's been a lot of fun. Like, and I really enjoy doing it, and as I like that type of show, and that's why I started my own. So
that's the only place to see that sort of thing would be Songbird, and that's once a month.
Yeah,
so now we got that one, we got yours,
so
and it's just there's not that many outlets for that in St. Louis. So I think it's making a pretty big difference, and you got a great relationship with Brian.
Brian's been super cool. Yeah, it's been fun. Become good buddies with him, and he runs a great venue out there, and it's been nice to finally have a home, for the show, and it's been working well. Mm-hmm. It does get my show does get a little more loose than Songbird does. So after the second set, when everybody's had a couple of drinks and things, it starts getting a little more rowdy than Songbird. But it's still a really good time out there, and people are generally pretty respectful of it and quiet during the show and things. And
right, and that, like you said, it took him years and years to get that sort of format down.
Sometimes when you get guys like the brothers Reed out there, and things can kind of get a little weird at second set, but those guys.
Good way to put it.
That was a fun night, though. It was a really good time, and I saw you guys all out there. That was
fun.
Yeah.
I think I saw 3 out of the 4 of their gigs while they were in town.
Yeah.
My sister saw all 4.
Right.
Because they're just so amazing. They're just nice, really nice guys, super talented.
Yeah. They were making me crack up, like all the stuff, just them like ripping on each other the entire time.
That's like one of the best. Besides the music, that's the best part. Is them just bashing each other in front of everyone.
It's just funny. Those guys are great. So a big shout out to the brothers Reed for coming in and doing that show last month. That was fun. Well, you mentioned so we have again the big one Debbstock on September 8th, but you're also playing at Atomic Cowboy on November 26th, and you're playing with our good buddy Seth Brand's coming back to town.
When I heard about that, I got really excited because he's been touring all around the country, playing everywhere, and just getting better. Him and his wife Sarah getting better and better and better at their live show, and then they're going to come by here, and to be able to be a part of that that's a big deal to me.
I think it's super cool too that she's kind of adapted part of the band and like not playing drums and taught herself how to play drums and all this stuff. And
it doesn't take away from anything he does. Just gives it that little drive.
Sure,
it's adorable to watch them together.
Yeah.
So,
but that's very cool that they become this doing the show together now. So very neat. And but yeah, big. I'm excited for them, man. So he's been doing big things, and it's really great to see as they continue their success.
I forget who else he said was going to be there, but it's going to be like a power night with some of his really good friends around here and some good seasoned musicians and me.
Well, we did mention in some live stuff. We did another one that's dropping this song called Chores, and this was actually the first time I heard this one. This is
I wanted to give you something new.
Yeah, and I felt like this was a good one too to play here at home, being the content of it. And but you want to talk about this one?
Yeah, well, and just knowing all the stuff you're doing for your mom, that's the reason why behind this song is, which but not everybody listening does, was a couple years back, moved down to Nashville. 2 weeks later, found out mom was sick, moved back home, and she's good, doing great now. She's fine. You're fine, right?
Yeah. I wasn't sick.
Yeah.
I was diagnosed.
Yeah, she's diagnosed, but everything was caught early enough, treatable. But I wanted to write a song about that, but I didn't want it to be all doom and gloom. I just wanted it to be about the good stuff. So, wrote it about chores.
Yeah.
Wrote it about helping out around the house.
Right.
Fold the laundry and I mop the floors. I take the trash out, run to the drugstore. I water the flowers, pull the weeds, split some wood, whatever else she needs. Sunday is the one day I take a drive out to the country and I lace up my boots and break a sweat. Did you get the list done? No, not yet. Why do I do the chores I do? Why do I do the chores I do? So my mom doesn't have to. Clean out the gutters and cut the lawn. Trim the tree limbs that grew too long. Sweep the garage out and rake up leaves. Wash her truck, whatever else she needs. Sunday is the one day take a drive out to the country and I lace up my boots and break a sweat. Did you get the list done? No, not yet. Why do I do the chores I do? Why do I do the chores I do? So my mom doesn't have to. Sunday's the one day, see, take a drive out to New Melle, lace up my boots and break a sweat. Did you get the list done? Yes, I did. Why do I do the chores I do? Why do I do the chores I do? 'Cause one day, won't get to.
Well, there's not like it's doom and gloom, but there's definitely the ending though kind of get you that one little tug. You're like, oh.
Yeah, I wanted to stick him right in the heart right as I walked out on the song.
Yeah, but very, very well written and another good one, man, for sure. So,
Thanks, buddy.
So thanks for sharing that.
The first time I heard that was at the Songbird.
That's right. I didn't tell her. Well, I told her of the song.
You told me you wrote a song, but you weren't going to let me hear it until that night. So I
burst into tears
at the very end. I wasn't expecting that either.
Yeah.
And so that one's kind of near and dear to me too.
Sure.
I got the reaction I wanted.
Yeah.
He always does.
Yep. It's sometimes it's nice to have those little surprises and things. But yeah, I can imagine. I don't know. I just feel like, especially something written for you, it's even more personal, obviously, for that sense. Like, you know exactly what he's singing about or who he's singing, that kind of sense. But like, but yeah, I can imagine Waterworks, it's it's pretty, it's a big thing when somebody writes a song about you, no matter what it's about and stuff.
Sure.
But something like that.
He's a little tougher to write about because, as you can tell, he's a man of very few words.
Very few.
But I think the song will be very few words too, to go along with that theme.
Yeah. Is that something you're working on?
I've been for a while, actually. Yeah.
Coming up with the right one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I kind of mentioned it off mic, and I've talked about it on the show too. But that's sort of my my bucket list kind of thing. I was like, I'd love to write, something, but it's hard for me to do so. It's hard for me to like shut off everybody else's lyrics in my brain and come up with my own song and stuff. But someday I'd like to properly do that and maybe have somebody record it or something like that and be fun.
You probably know a few different people that could help you with that.
Maybe. But that's the thing. Like, I feel like I do have quite a few friends that are around town that are especially writers and stuff that be able to help out. But
it can be a very good form of release.
Yeah.
Because once you write it down on paper and you sing it, it doesn't leave you, but it definitely kind of helps take a little bit of a weight off. Yeah, like you release it in a healthy way. It feels good.
Yeah.
There's a cat here.
Yeah, a special guest. Well, so you, so is that one you're looking to record then, or?
It's not done yet.
What, not Wayne Chores though.
That I think is going to come on on my first album that I'm working on currently. Yeah, and I was gonna talk to you a little bit about that. I'm doing that Sawhorse, which I know you know the guys there, and I'm basically just putting together a St. Louis super group of people that I've met around town who obviously are really good, but really nice people too. Drew Lance, I'm trying to get on drums and possibly backup vocals. Mark, is it Hochberg?
Hochberg,
I never say his name right. Sorry, Mark. On violin, Chris Turnbull on bass, and then hopefully, cross my fingers for Hillary Fitz and Emily Wallace to do some backing up and
that'd be killer,
thicken up the background vocals. Yeah,
sure.
That's my hope.
And Sawhorse is such a cool space over there too. Like, it seems like I've never recorded. I did a podcast in there, but not as a an artist. But like, it just seems like it's such a relaxed place where you can just stretch out and get creative freedom, do whatever you want, and make something cool. And it's just a very welcoming atmosphere for that. And
it really is. And there's like a labyrinth of different rooms, and it's like an old building, but they have state-of-the-art equipment. And Chris is kind of engineering and producing it, and he seems to know definitely what he's doing. So that helps me a lot. Yeah.
Well, cool. So is that something to expect this fall or early next year maybe? Or something?
Yeah, in a perfect world, it'll be this fall. We've got like the bass or the rough vocals and acoustic laid out and sent that out to the guys to listen to so they can kind of get an ear for it. Then I'm going to bring in Drew and Mark and have Chris all kind of jam together on them until they find the groove for it, and then just lay it out.
Nice, man.
Record it. I'm excited.
I know you have some stuff out there, but is this like, so this be the first time to this extent doing something like this, especially with a band?
I've only had like just burned CDs of demo songs, so this will be an actual first CD. I've had the artwork done for like a year and a half now, so I got to use it on something. So I got to record this thing. But I found a cool artist. I think his name's Alex Long in St. Charles. I saw some of his artwork at Picasso's Cafe, and there's one with this big, scary-looking monster behind this tiny little monster at a table. And I thought, I wonder if he can draw me in at the table, like I'm writing a song with my guitar there, so I got this giant monster behind me. It's a metaphor, but turned out really good.
Yeah.
And I think the next one, I'll be the monster, and then the little monster will be right in the song. So
all right.
I don't know what that means yet, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah. Nice, man. Well, that'd be cool, man. I'm excited for you, and hopefully we'll get this done soon, man.
And always, thank you so much for everything you do and letting me be a part of it.
Hey, happy to help. It's been cool that we've become buddies through all this stuff, and several years ago, and still getting to do fun stuff together all the time.
Yeah, you messed up, but you're stuck with me for life.
All right.
So you just get used to it.
Well, let's throw in another one. This is one you might also hear on that CD.
Yep.
A song called "That Dress," and you've played this song previously on the show, but it's definitely different.
I changed a little bit.
It's been it's had some different definitely you can hear some people you've collaborated in things and having reworking some things a little bit and so it's kind of fun. I love that kind of stuff too as a fan of music, as the kind of the evolution of a song is like it's never quite done, and it's
right.
like so you might have this version of it, now you got this version and so on, and so sort of the B-sides or whatever, the different demo versions of a song until you finally get it to record on record and make it finalized. And
wish I'd have known what was in store when you came to that door, wearing what you wore. As you stood there smiling at me, I thought there's no way it can't be. This friend wants something more. I saw fire in your eyes. Then I went home alone that night. Well, wish you wouldn't have worn that dress, skin tight, so hot, not cut for friends. An image burned into my head, and all those feelings I misread. If all you wanted was a friend, what you're wearing is a sin. Could have avoided this whole mess. I wish you wouldn't have worn that dress. The damn thing had me in a trance, down on Main Street while we danced, swaying to the slow jams. I guess I spoke a little soon. I made my move and the night was ruined, but I had to take that chance. Mixed signals all throughout the night. Went in for a kiss, got denied. Wish you wouldn't have worn that dress, skin tight, so hot, not cut for friends. An image burned into my head, and all those feelings I misread. If all you wanted was a friend, what you're wearing is a sin. Could have avoided this whole mess. I wish you wouldn't have worn that dress. Could have avoided this whole mess. Wish you wouldn't have worn that dress. Could have avoided this whole mess. Wish you wouldn't have worn that dress.
With a lot of stuff I've been doing lately in the last couple of years to better my craft of writing is creating contrast between the verse and the chorus. So that was a little bit of that. And also I kind of had I don't know if it's an epiphany, but recently, like the last couple of years, I've been doing nothing but focusing on learning to be a commercial pop country writer, which I think is good things to know, but I was focusing, I think, way too much of my time and energy on that. Like I wouldn't even start a song or write a song if I didn't think it was going to be pitchable. So now I decided to go half and half. I'm going to write for me what I want to write half the time, and I'll try to write commercial the other half the time. So I'm more balanced.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
And I think, too, like, just, writing anything sometimes, because, like, people get in those, like, funks or, writer's block or whatever, and it's like sometimes you just got to write, even if it's not going to be a hit song, it's like sometimes you just got to write it to get it out of there and get them out of the way before you can write that next one and
You're
stuff.
Exactly right. A lot of professionals would tell you that exact same thing.
So is there any particular between your trips to Nashville? I know you just recently went back and worked with some people, and is there any particular advice that you felt really resonated with you that you wouldn't pass along? Or
I get some really good advice from, his name's Marty Dodson. He's written he's got 6 #1 hits and over 100 and something cuts. Definitely a good person to know and talk to. But basically kind of gave me the advice of a broad pitch versus a narrow pitch. Some of my songs, he said they're good. There's nothing wrong with them, but they're a very narrow pitch, meaning only a certain amount of artists would even consider doing them. But then on the opposite, like Float Trip is more broad to where just about anybody can do that. So where I thought I was in the songwriting section of my life, or portion of my life, whatever, where I wanted to approach publishers might not quite be there yet because I need to have more broad pitch songs. But kind of know where I stand, but a little bit more ahead of me than I thought. So it kind of knocked me into a little bit of a funk, but I'm crawling back out of it now.
There you go.
Yeah, feels good.
You watching any of that Songland?
I haven't even seen one episode, but I've heard some awesome things.
You gotta check it out.
Okay.
I think you would really dig it. I feel like we're in a similar sense in that, but I really enjoy it, and it's a lot of that kind of stuff, like because these people were coming in with their original song, and they have one particular artist that they're pitching the song to, and they've had whatever Jonas Brothers and Old Dominion, yeah, and then Macklemore and Leona Lewis and like all these big Will.i.am and like so all these big artists on, and then like they have like 3 of the top producers in town, Ryan Tedder, Shane McNally, and
he's written so many hits, it's not even funny.
I forget.
But he was in Nashville for like 14 years before he got a cut.
Right.
And then it all just...
Yeah. Now he's, I think he set he's got like several songs nominated right now for like Song of the Year from the CMAs. Like, he is like tied Alan Jackson's record or something like that. And so he was, anyway, but so the show, so they come in and pitch their idea, for the song, and they're pitching it to this one person. So some songs are trying to like, geared right towards them, and then they're like, well, this song is good, but I don't know how I can make it mine.
Right.
And it's like, so they've turned down other songs, like they're like, yeah, that's your song, like this is nope, I can't do that song.
And it might not be there's something bad with the song, it just doesn't work for them as their brand as an artist, and that's something I didn't even take into consideration until I started learning about that stuff. It's like it's in your best interest to know who's recording for an album, because you can kind of target songs towards them.
And then they go in and work with the producers and try to fine tune it till they maybe change some of the lyrics around and make it actually cater to that who's ever going to be singing it and stuff.
Sure.
So
you want it to be believable,
right? It's about like Leona Lewis, like obviously she's English, so she was saying like there's some of these words that I wouldn't say, just so you have to think about that too. Like it's just like these, you have to change some of the words just to fit in her vocabulary and stuff. And so there's stuff like that. Like there's just a lot of things I don't really think about in music, and it's like interesting kind of see behind the scenes of how some of the songwriting and music comes to be and stuff. So
I definitely need to watch it.
Yeah, it's a good show, man.
Done. Have you guys seen it?
No.
Yeah, it's a fun one, and like even like, and I like that too, that there's just like a lot of variety of music, and so that's regardless of if you're into pop or country or whatever, there's a lot of different stuff on there, and it's fun just to still see the process of how all these different songs come together and stuff. And then as they're like, some of my favorite stuff is when they do pitch their song, the original artist plays, and sometimes they play like with the band, and then like Ryan Tedder and Shane and I'm blanking on the girl's name there, but they'll start like pitching out ideas like, what if we do this, like no,
and they're
this part,
so
and it's
fast with it because they do it literally every day,
and that's like some of the best stuff. Like when they just start, kind of like start throwing out ideas, and like something works, and
you can tell they hear it in their head,
right? And it's like, so it's really cool. And like they'll just grab a guitar or a piano and start doing this. Like I'm thinking like a Dr. Dre kind of beat right here, and like it's like so stuff like that. And it's really fun to watch them work. It's really interesting.
It's like watching a famous artist paint, only different.
For sure. Yep, painting with melody and words, and so yeah, man.
Just blew my mind.
Yeah. Well, you like I said, we got some opportunities to come see Joe live again, Debbstock on September 8th. $10 tickets
That's
available.
the big one, people.
That's the big one. This one
don't miss it.
Means a lot to us, and
Mom, tell them to come.
Oh, I'm going to be there.
Yeah.
Okay, there you
No
go.
doubt, I'm going to be there.
That's all you need to know. I'm really excited about this night. Getting, like I said, the music's personally, I'm gonna enjoy every moment of it. I'm gonna probably be in a big old emotional mess the whole time.
It's okay.
I told everybody I'm gonna give hugs and high fives all night long, and but it's It's gonna be a good one.
There's going to be a lot of love in the Rock House.
Yeah, that's the goal, man. Just fill it with love and just like I said, I've been saying since the beginning, just want to put a smile on Mom's face for the night and have a good time.
And you will.
I definitely know you will.
You will.
Yeah, so I'm hoping the goal is still to get her there for the evening, at least for some of the show, and so that's the plan. Hopefully everything works out, and it's gonna be a great time, and I'm excited about it. So come out there to Old Rock House on the 8th, and you can also see Joe at the Atomic Cowboy at the Bootleg there on November 26th with Seth Brand.
That's right before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or something like that.
It'll be after, I don't know. It's around Thanksgiving, but if you're going to come to one of them, come to Debbstock.
Well, you can still come to both, but
if you're going to come to just one,
right.
I would prefer Debbstock.
Yeah. And then
I'm going to bring the thunder.
Yeah. You said you're bringing some special guests with you?
I am. We got Mr. Joe Griffey, legendary St. Louis guitar player from the Mojo Williams band.
Yeah.
He's going to wear a new hat that he got. We're excited about that. With his long hair. And then maybe even have a special guest singer on a couple of songs as well.
Yeah. Keeping that one a surprise.
Mm-hmm. Got to make him come see.
Yeah. Right. Well, come on out and find out who it's going to be. But I think it's going to be, like I said, I've said a bunch, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be a good night. And we're not trying to make this like a bummer kind of thing or anything. It's a bummer situation for sure, but
that's not why we're there.
It's all going to be fun. It's got. Oh, and also I forgot to mention earlier, this is we're trying to do like a luau Hawaiian beach party theme type of thing to it. So feel free to dress up and participate in your favorite Hawaiian shirt or whatever it might be, and have some fun with us. I think we're going to try to. I got some nice decorations and all that. I think it could be so.
I got a great sand guy. We can get wall-to-wall sand in there if you want.
Yeah. Old Rock House would love it. Yeah.
I may or may not have found a beautiful purple Hawaiian shirt because I know purple is
nice. Yeah.
I got my dress. I'm all ready to go. I got the purple lei and everything.
All right.
Nice. Accessorized too.
But that was all started kind of like she said something. My brother had asked her a while back. What do you want to do? And your last days or something like that, and whatever it might be. If did you want to go to the mountains or ocean or something? And she said she wanted to go to the beach, and so I was like, well, let's make Old Rock House as beachy as we can make it, and hopefully that'll help out and lift everybody's spirits and stuff that night. And
we can roast a pig we got Dan's Country Meats right up the road. We can get a pig. I'm just saying, keep that in mind if you want it.
Sounds delicious.
That'd be Squealer, wouldn't it?
Say he could talk.
Thanks for chiming in, Dad.
Yeah. My 2 cents worth.
It's so hard to get him to shut up.
All you gotta do is put a mic there.
Yeah, that really does work.
What's that? You're all over watch Major League.
Oh yeah.
When he's got the baseball commentary, and he's like dynamite dropping. Oh jeez.
My mom got up. This is what happens during a live podcast at the Bizelli house.
That's right.
Yeah. Radio gold.
You can't make this up.
So we are kind of getting into this being Labor Day and stuff, kind of starting to get into the fall kind of stuff and things. Or is anybody obviously out here, maybe not as much in the country, but do you guys get into Halloween stuff and like the trick-or-treating and stuff? Because like you don't really have like a lot. I'm sure you don't get a lot of the kids coming by for trick-or-treating.
Oh, we do.
Yeah. You do?
Usually one.
One kid.
One kid.
This one?
Yeah.
My mom is into all holiday decorations. At one point, we had 6 full-size Christmas trees in this house, all with different decor, different themes.
There you go.
But that's one thing I know you love to do is go all out for the holidays, and Halloween's not really there's not as much Halloween stuff as there is Christmas, but there's definitely still some.
Sure. I particularly enjoy getting into Halloween. It's just fun for and Stacy's the same way too. Especially she's a big fan of Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh yeah.
So she likes getting all her Jack Skellington stuff out and all that. And but we always enjoy dressing up and having some fun with it and going around. Our friends usually host a Halloween party every year and things, and it's always it's always fun to pick out a costume for the year and have some good time. So,
and please tell her we said thank you for sharing you on your day off.
Yeah. I'll be sure
And
to pass.
You're welcome to stay for dinner, but I know you guys probably have dinner plans already.
Right. Yeah, I think we don't get a lot of days off together, so we try to make the most of it and have a nice date night together and things. So.
I think it's amazing that you not only work a full-time day job, you work pretty much full-time night job and podcasting job, and you make time for her.
Hey.
How do you make more time?
Well, I cut out sleeping.
Oh,
That's
okay.
it's really
That works.
really opened a lot of free
It's
time.
all 8 hours a night, Tobin.
Yeah. That's the biggest one, I think. No, it's always been about balance. It's important to me. It's like you find you find a way to make time for everything. And but I've made a joke, the other day. That's like I feel like sometimes it does feel like I'm trying to juggle like 14 chainsaws and they're all on fire and stuff like it. Just but yeah, it's like you make it work. Just figure out.
I can't see you doing anything. I mean, I see how much you love what you do. So I can't picture you doing anything other than what you're doing.
Right.
And I want to.
Well, that's what's I figured out like years ago. I don't know. So really kind of started in high school. Like I had a teacher, Scott Swafford, a big part of why I live my life the way I do. But he said something along the lines of like, live this 5 like your last 5. Like it's always been, that's what him and his wife lived by and stuff. And he was always like, yeah, if somebody offers you like Cardinal tickets or whatever, go live in the moment, have a good time, enjoy the day. Like, don't worry about the homework. You can turn it in later, whatever it is. And so I always thought that was really cool. Like the way he kind of, it was all about living in the moment.
I had a similar kind of thing with a teacher, Mr. D, Daniel Boone. He's the music teacher. And just his passion for music and how much he loved it definitely translated to me.
Well,
so I totally get that.
So he ended up having like a massive, he told all this like stuff on a Friday night, ended up having a massive heart attack over the weekend and never came back. And he, really like, I mean, it wasn't like his goal, but he drove his message home that like your time is nobody knows when our time is up. And
True.
So he told me all this stuff and and it really kind of clicked with me. And ever since then, I've been trying to live more like that. And so that's why I always go to the concerts. That's why I do everything I do, like trying to, even if I'm tired, I still try to go out and have a good time. I mean, there's days I definitely crash and I need some rest. But
Or don't feel like going
Sure.
to do something and still going to do it.
But I try to cram as much fun stuff into daily life that I can because, like I said, one day it's not going to be there. So, but yeah, it's so that's what me and Mom, especially after Mom retired, that's a lot of like, well, that's why she would go to shows with me as much as she was because she didn't have as many responsibilities as being retired now, and so we would always go to the shows and have fun together and stuff. So,
What did we go to last together? What was that? I'm trying to remember. Was it Riverport or whatever it is now?
Happy Together.
Oh yeah. Oh no, that was at Family Arena.
Yeah.
All like the singer from Three Dog Night, singers from the Turtles, like all oldies. When you never know you're gonna get to see them again.
Sure.
So there was one at Riverport we went to also recently.
Well, let's
I
see.
can't think of who it was, but anyway, yeah, concerts with Mom.
yep.
Gordon Lightfoot. We went to see him.
Gordon Lightfoot.
That was a
And
couple
then
months ago.
During the intermission, I go outside to get some fresh
That's a
air.
great story.
And some guy comes up to me. He's like, "It's okay, me and my girlfriend got to go. You want my tickets?" I was like, "All right." I go back in. I go to look at it. It's like row A, seat 11. So we were literally front row for the second half of it. It was really cool.
Yeah.
And he was so good. And he had the crowd in the palm of his hand so much that he, after a song, he was like, "Excuse me a second." Pulls out a tissue blows his nose and people cheered for him blowing his nose. That's the level I want to be on.
He's like 80 years old.
Yeah, he's
I
80
think.
something. But he played all the hits, and it was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, man. That's when you know you made it. When everybody's cheering, you're blowing your nose.
I'm gonna eat this sandwich.
The guy with the oxygen on at Happy Together.
Oh yeah, the lead singer, one of the singers of Three Dog Night, came out, and he's got this cord
I couldn't make
trailing
it out
behind him.
at
I thought it was
first.
the mic cable, and he had like a wireless mic, but no, it was his oxygen tube
Yeah, he had a nasal oxygen cannula
on
on.
oxygen, belting it out in front of us, half a stadium or half the family arena
Now
full of
that's
people.
dedication.
That was really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I went to see it was kind of sad, but like I went to go see blanking on the name. Man, I hate when I go
okay.
go to tell a story, and that's when I go forget
Leave
about
out the
it.
Oh,
name.
been there,
Yeah.
done that. It still happens.
Yeah. What's
If you tell me what happened,
Head
we'll-
East.
Oh, okay.
So I went to see
Nice.
them, and they've kind of gone through some different singers, and like, but this particular night they were like, it was like a reunion with like all the singers kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And one of the guys ends up like having some sort of like a heart attack or some kind of a
Seizure?
some sort of episode of sorts, and like they end up having to call a paramedic and everything else in, and like, so it was just really like really tough, like, you know, really sad to be, you know, watching this like as it happened. Like it was like, but yeah, they end up, you know, he's fine, he made it, like, you know, he's healthy or whatever, but it was just scary for sure at the time, especially they were doing like, it was like at the time they were doing like a meet and greet kind of thing, and but
Well,
it was you know, it's like as those, some of those guys you know, get older, like it's nice that they still want to perform and things, but it's also like you got to worry about some of that stuff. And
I've been saying for a long time now that we live in a pretty unique time where we can still see a lot of the legendary musicians, but we're also going to have to watch them all go. Mm-hmm. There's definitely a song there. I just can't figure out the title yet. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, man, I'm excited about that one. Hopefully,
It's pretty cool to go to a concert.
Maybe we could write it together.
there you go.
Here you go. Go to a concert, and my son and sometimes my daughter are enjoying the same artist that I enjoyed
Sure.
at their age, or younger, probably younger.
Mm-hmm.
And just different, some of the things I can tell them, like, first time I saw Bob Seger.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all we wanted to hear was Bob Seger. It was a different climate then when you went to places.
You'll never guess who opened for him, Shane.
Yeah, this band come out, and I didn't listen to them too, and I thought, okay. Their opening warm-up band was Kiss.
There you go.
Well, I didn't like them at all.
Yeah.
They were screamy, they were obnoxious, they were, you know. We wanted to hear Bob Seger music. Now, you know, you can't get too different, you know. And, but yeah, that's like how old I am. Mm-hmm. But it's so neat to go and listen with my kids now, and they're standing there, and they're singing these words. It just is something for a mom's heart. It really does, for us to be able to enjoy those things together.
For sure. Yeah, Seeker is one of the best. That's one of my favorites. I saw, I did see Kiss like 03 or something like that. They were just here yesterday.
I know, and I would wish I
They're
could have gone.
phenomenal, but at the time,
Yeah,
that's not what
sure.
we wanted to hear.
And they're definitely, it's theatrical, you know, it's like the stage show is like what you go for. It's
Right.
like, I mean, they got some great songs too, but it's like, it's that whole, the fact that the over the top, you know, it's like just
Too much
yeah,
on purpose.
all the pyro, all the, you know, it's like, it's just, but I saw them, and it was like one of my favorite concert experiences ever, like, and it was Kiss and Poison that year. And like they're out there, like, of course, you know, at the end of the night they like shatter their guitars on stage and all that stuff. Like, I mean, like, this is like all rock and roll. So it was pretty wild. But
First time I saw somebody do that, I couldn't comprehend like why they would destroy an instrument, but now I get it.
all right,
Still doesn't make any sense to
I won't
me.
do it, but other people, I get it now.
You know what your dad's last concert was? You.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I believe that.
I think it was probably at the Wolf.
The Wolf or Songbird. Well, maybe not Songbird, but yeah,
I don't think
probably
he's
the
done
Wolf.
a Songbird.
No,
but
Wolf.
You've been to the Wolf. They have that.
Yeah.
Sometimes they have songwriter
that's
nights
the
there,
only
too.
way, as far as I'm concerned, is to listen.
Yeah, my mom gets mad whenever I play somewhere and people are talking in the background, even though I'm just playing at a bar. She'll give them dirty looks and tell, you know, wish everybody would
I
shut
just
up.
want to turn around and say, will you shut up?
Yeah.
My son is performing.
Right.
I tried to tell them. My mom wants them to be quiet, but they don't listen.
I can't help it.
Yeah.
So that's why she likes the Songbird and Songwriter Night that you put on. Because everybody's there to hear this music, actually. I think it's growing in St. Louis because of people like you, Brittany Burney. Was it Beyond FM? Have you talked to those guys yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
know
I haven't met
little
them,
bit.
but I like that it's a radio station where they do nothing but St. Louis music artists 24/7.
Oh, kind of like that
So-
bluegrass one we listened to on Sundays.
KDHX.
Yeah.
Yeah, them, Beyond FM, 10 Cents. Like there's a whole new group of people like emerging out that are actually, I think, reviving the St. Louis music scene. And I think you're a big part of that, Mr. Mayor.
Thanks, man.
We need to get a Songbird type situation in St. Charles someplace.
Yeah.
That's
the
another
next,
place.
That's the next place out. We got one
Yeah.
in Manchester. Now we got one in Chesterfield.
Sure.
And
I know
Yeah.
Driftwood does some songwriting nights over
then
there.
I was just
Do
one
they?
there last 2 nights ago.
Yeah, they do some stuff on it every now and then. Probably not as often, but it's like.
And it's a little bit smaller.
Yeah.
more-
It's all right.
more
It'll
intimate,
get there.
But I
It'll
know,
get there.
like, I think Kenny's done that over there. And anyway, but yeah, it was a nice little thing they got happening. So
You ever been there? It's pretty cool.
I haven't been yet. No, it's like I said, there's a lot of stuff I'd like to do that I just don't always get the time to do, trying to do all the other shows. But yeah, it's definitely one I need to check out.
Yeah, a lot of it's an old building, all vintage guitars everywhere. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, right up my alley. Well, I guess we'll wrap this thing.
Before we sign off, I just want to say thank you guys for always supporting me with my
Yeah.
music in every way you possibly could.
Thanks for cutting the grass.
By the way, after you're gone, I got those
Yeah.
plants you walked by on the sidewalk. Those are getting planted.
Yeah.
Grass is getting cut.
Chores.
Weed eating. Yeah.
They're chores.
A lot of chores.
That's not, the song's not fake.
Right.
That actually happened. And thank you again for doing this. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yes, thanks, Shane.
Yeah, thank you. This has been really great, and we'll see you all Sunday night.
Yes, you will.
Debbstock.
Yep,
Don't miss it.
don't miss it. All right, thanks everybody. Bye.
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 Rock Paper Podcast. Rock Paper Podcast. Rock Paper Podcast, y'all.